In this video, Anton Hermann from Spacegoats will teach some of the main ways how sellers can optimize their inventory performance index and overcome Amazon restrictions which were introduced recently and which sellers could face again in the near future. Spacegoats helps Amazon brands to expand to Europe, so if you want to get in contact with Anton and his team, find the link below in the description, and also you will find there an offer which will waive a setup fee for Spacegoats. This video is hosted by Lisette Lees. She works with different Amazon brands. And finally, if you like what we do and you find this video helpful, hit the like button below this video and subscribe to our channel.
Hi Anton, I'm really happy to have you here today. So usually my first question to everybody is to ask them to introduce themselves before we go to the presentation topic. But today we will do it a little bit differently because I know you have prepared a first slide about you and your background. So let's first go straight to your presentation and then see who you are, what you do, and also about today's presentation topic.
Thank you very much for this brief introduction, Lisette. Today's topic is the inventory performance index and how to improve it and what kind of, let's call it hustle we had last year with the restock limitation and so on and so forth. And for that, I have some little introduction slide, what is going on, what we will talk about today, and then I will introduce myself. So that's my favorite slide. We all do love Amazon. Amazon is like the basis of our revenue, is the base of our success, but it's not always easy to interact with Amazon, what you can see in this four things, and we are kind of familiar with all these issues, and that's why I want to help you solve some of them. And one of the issues we were tackling last year was the restock limitation. It means that you were not able to restock products in FBA anymore. And this was a neck breaker for many of us. And there are ways to avoid it in the future. And I pretty much want to show you some of the ways. And this is why I am here. So let's start with the slide about myself. So I'm a mechanical engineer by education, but I never really liked to work in this field. So I started my own Amazon business in 2016, selling bamboo toothbrushes as my first product. In 2017, I kind of fusioned with my two friends, Dimitrios and Manuel, because we had like different fields. One of us was a software engineer, the other one was the finance guy, and I was basically the product development and engineer because I studied mechanical engineering. This worked pretty well as well, and we discovered here many, let's call it issues, many hurdles which we wanted to solve with our company Spacegoats. And Spacegoats is basically selling products of other sellers through our own Amazon account, and this European-wide, which solves many problems for the customer, but generates a lot of problems for us. Means Amazon account management, blog products, inventory performance index, and so on and so forth. I was used to do marketing, sales, customer success, and operations, but now I'm currently running only Amazon operations and customer success. In our company, we have 30 plus employees at the moment, and they're growing pretty fast. Have 200 brands under our management. So we saw a lot of weird stuff happening in the Amazon world. And in my free time, I play nerdy computer games and other nerdy games, but that's not part of this presentation today. So Amazon restock limitations. I know it's from yesterday, the problem from yesterday, but who knows if this problem will ever show up again? Because in 2020, when Corona really kicked in, we had a similar issue that people were not able to send in stock at all. Okay, then the Corona situation relaxed a little bit, and people could send products in again. But 1 year later, so in 2021, Amazon just did the same, and most of the sellers, including a lot of our customers, they did not learn anything from the first restrictions. So that's why we are here to talk how to avoid it in the future. And I really want to ask you for taking this into account and not making the same mistakes as in the past. So the official reasons why Amazon did this restriction, at least from their presentation, they got more revenue or more growth than expected. So when Corona kicked in, at least in Germany, I guess in many countries it was the same. Many offline retailers, they had to shut down their shops, so people couldn't actually buy things in offline stores. And when you need your stuff, you will go online, and Amazon is the biggest player, so their revenue growth was very huge, and they were not prepared for this new revenue which came in. Of course, Corona restrictions in Germany, we had for example rules where you only could have X persons in one room of Y square meters and blah blah blah. So they could have less labor power in the same capacity which they had. And then another official reason, but I don't really believe it to 100%, was that the Prime Day offer, but that the Prime Day, which was planned in June or July, I don't remember, like last year, people were afraid that they get out of stock, so they sent way too much to Amazon, and this was blocking capacities which were actually needed to to fulfill the seller's wishes. That are the official reasons, I think. So my it's only personal opinion. They wanted to educate their selling partners, and they actually they hopefully did it. So we are educated, and we definitely see the threats, and we always think about how to improve our own inventory performance and so on and so forth. And we will not struggle with this in the future anymore. And I think many others will do the same. So in my personal opinion, it was mainly an educational reason. They got us so many flags, like all the sellers, I mean, please take care of your inventory performance index. Here's this KPI and here's this KPI. The sellers, they just did not care at all about this KPI. So they had to do some tremendous measures to force the people to listen to this KPIs, or to at least monitor their KPIs. Today's agenda is, we had it already, what is going on, why we are talking today. Then the difference between restock limit and storage limit, because we experienced that there is some confusion out there. What is the actual, what does it actually mean? Then we talk about how to improve the inventory performance index and the storage limit. And in the last part before the presentation short presentation about Spacegoats, I will tell you something what you can do about the restock limit in the future. So what is the difference between restock limit and storage limit? It's not the same. It's not the same. What you can see here is the inbound of the goods in the Amazon fulfillment center, the actual storage capacity, like the volume of goods, and the outbound. Okay, and Amazon said it, at least that's the official explanation, that the bottleneck for the inbound is covered by the restock limit. So they had a bottleneck because too many FBA shipments, so inbound shipments, were generated, so they couldn't manage to get these products into the actual warehouse. That's why they blocked the restock again, because I saw also pictures, so it's definitely some truth in there, that on the Amazon area, there were like packages out there in the rain because they had no capacity, like labor power to actually proceed this inbound shipments. So that's what is influenced by the restock limit. So that's inbound. Then you get the actual storage volume, what is so the physical capacity of some fulfillment center, and this is limited by the storage limit. Okay, so the actual capacity is the storage limit, and this is influenced by the inventory performance index, while the restock limit is not influenced, at least officially, by the inventory performance index. There is some link, but correlation, it's not 100% sure, because people who have a good inventory performance index, they have a good sell-through rate, and the sell-through rate is actually what makes it, what is the magic behind this, behind avoiding restock limitations. And of course you got the outbound, but that was never a official bottleneck of Amazon. So again, restock limit, that was like the big problem where you couldn't send in more goods to Amazon, was a global restriction for all sellers. So everybody got the same issues. No official correlation between a restock limit and inventory performance index. And it was an emergency action due to the Corona situation and due to what I explained right before. While the storage limit is a physical limit of the Amazon space, it gets, most of you probably know, it gets updated once per quarter. So you have time, always 3 months, to improve that. And on the day where the quarter ends, you get the number for the next quarter. And then this is real. So if you perform well and from January till March, then you will have no storage limit for the next 3 months. That's how it's basically works. And this is 100% influenced by the inventory performance index. So how to improve the inventory performance index, because this is like the main part of this presentation. So if you do your job well and your inventory performance index is in the right area, then you have no limit, like no physical limit for your goods what are stored at Amazon, and that's what we want to achieve. And who knows what Amazon will do in the future? Maybe the restock limits today, they have no direct influence to the inventory performance index, or no correlation. But maybe in the future Amazon will change its mind, and then we will have this link, and then it's better to be green than yellow or red in this KPI. So we have 4 sub KPIs which are relevant for the inventory performance index. Excess inventory, it's pretty straightforward. If you have too much inventory that Amazon does not want to have in their warehouse, you will get a punishment in this sub KPI. Then you have the sell-through rate, what means the stock what you have at Amazon on average divided by the sales what you have divided by the stock what you actually have. I will go in detail in some of the next slides. Stranded inventory is inventory which has no actual SKU in your seller central. So it means, for example, you were selling some product and then you deleted the product from your, because you stopped selling the product, and then you deleted the product from your seller central inventory page, and then you got some return from a customer, and then it has no SKU where you can book the product in, and then it's in some deeper space where you don't know, where you have to take some measure, but also more about this later. And the 4th KPI, and that's a bit funny, because in stock inventory means Amazon wants your bestseller or wants your products to be in stock, what was not possible while the restock limit. So this sub KPI went down. You couldn't do anything about it because you were not able to send in stock. So this is definitely, that was a funny situation, but you can also do something about it. And what you can do about it, I will tell you in the next slides. Excess inventory. So if you have too much in the Amazon warehouse, Amazon had in the past two options to remove your excess inventory. First option was to do a removal order, to just get back the products from the Amazon warehouse to some address of your choice. So getting back the products was the first option. And the second option was to destroy the products. We are in some ecological change and so on and so forth. I guess that's the worst option, to destroy good products for no reason. But Amazon launched many other features, 3 or 4 other features where you can get rid of this excess inventory. But to see the excess inventory, you should need to download the excess inventory report. Pretty straightforward. And here's the magic figure from Amazon is 90 days of supply. That's what they actually want to have here. I think it's still too much. If you want to have a good inventory management, I think I will also say some recommendations from our side. Check the Amazon recommendations. They tell you what stock you have to get back and what stock you should not get back. And that's what I actually wanted to tell a bit more. Check out the value recovery features, that what I will explain in the next slides. And there's always an option of multi-channel. For example, if you have excess inventory and you're also selling on eBay or through your own online shop, you probably have some logistic partner set up which is doing this fulfillment for the not Amazon distribution. You can switch this to Amazon itself to get rid of the stock instead of getting it back to the same partner and then getting it out from the same partner to from the FBA warehouse to the end customer. Yes, excess inventory and value recovery, new options. They are not launched everywhere, but in at least in America, all of them are launched, but in Europe, not in all the marketplaces. You have all these options. So the first option is remission, so removal order, straightforward. You get out the products which are at Amazon. The second one, which is pretty nice, is the outlet feature. So Amazon has something like an outlet store. I think Amazon / Amazon dot whatever / outlet. I guess that's the domain or similar to something similar to that, where you can have like deals as an end customer. So it's an own website where you can just buy cheap products from Amazon in some outlet deals. Okay. And then you have the liquidation option, means you sell the stock to some we call it rest recovery service or whatever, some guy who's buying on bulk cheap products which you cannot sell anymore, and they sell it on a cheap price to some other cheap like outlet stores or whatever. But also some words about that later. Then you have the option for charity. That's at least in UK and France the option, so you can give your products as charity for charity purpose, and you will at least not destroy it. Okay, that's better to give it as charity than to destroy it. And of course, the destroy order itself. So what is now here I have this domain. So what is the outlet option? Amazon.de, I guess Amazon.fr/outlet. You can check yourself what is going on over there. If it's interesting for you to get rid of some excess inventory, if this situation what we had in the past will happen again. And the condition for that is that the product is new and actually sellable. It needs to have a sales history, and it needs to have at least 3.5 stars in average as product reviews. Then you can apply for this program. There is some menu in the Seller Central where you can launch your products on the Amazon outlet store. The second option is the liquidation. What I already said, to the bulk buyers which are buying like cheap products for a cheap price to sell them for also a cheap price to the end customer or to some other stores which sell it for a cheap price. And here it can be new as well as second hand, but the price should be at least €7 in Germany per product. And the requirement by Amazon is that you have the Amazon VAT service activated. You could use, for example, Tax2 or some other tax service here in Europe, for example. But then this option will not work if you don't use the official service of Amazon. And not all categories are allowed here. So there are restricted categories where you cannot use it. And what you can wait here, or what you're going to wait here, is around 10 to 15% of the selling price later on Amazon. You will get as a kickback from Amazon. It's better than paying for destroying the products if you get even more revenue out of this one. So that is a pretty cool option. Please check it out if you have products which are not running that as well as you expected, or if you just want to close your account or stop your Amazon business or whatever. That's definitely a good option to get some money back. And yeah, the other ones I discussed already. So we figured out the first sub KPI, excess inventory, and now we have the second sub KPI, and this is by far, that's what we experienced in our, we have like big data stores, I would say, with our 5,000 ASINs which we are selling, and this was the thing what impacts the IPI in general the most is the sell-through rate. What is the sell-through rate in detail? Sales of the last 90 days divided by the average stock you had the last 90 days. So you can get these numbers from the sales are pretty easy, and they are actually, if you click on the sub KPI, you will see the sales of the last 90 days. They will just show up there. But for the average stock, you need to do some calculations. So you need to download the inventory report and then see what is an average. I mean, everybody who's listening here knows how to work with Excel, but that's the only way to get this number, at least what I know. Maybe they got some update over here, but that's what I know, and you can get it over there. And here's the magic ratio between 2 and 7. And that's not as easy as it looks like to have a 2 here. And if you're 2, you're in green. If you are over 7, you're in dark green. That's roughly what this KPI says. And just for your understanding, if you do like 1,000 sales in 90 days, you are only able to have in average 500 units in stock. Please calculate it for yourself, and then you see that it's not super easy to have it overall into your account, because you always have some not as good selling products, mostly at least, and just check it for all your SKUs and optimize it for all your SKUs, because then you have obviously the overall KPI improved as well. I already talked about the stranded inventory a little bit. So when you don't know, when Amazon does not know what product is, what SKU this product is related to, then it's in the stranded inventory menu. You can just click on the stranded inventory menu, let's say on a weekly or a 2-weekly bi-weekly basis, and just see if you have products over there. It's the easiest way. You can either activate them or use one of these removal orders, what I explained before. Of course, not possible for all of them, but that's pretty easy to manage, in my opinion. But what is funny over here, sometimes you get products which you never sold. Okay, you never sold this product in your life, and then you have like 50 units of it. That's what we experience, at least, because Amazon just booked something wrong, and then you have something here in your stranded inventory what you actually don't know about at all. But as I said, it's super easy, but the impact is also not that big here. And yeah, the last thing of the inventory performance index is the in-stock inventory. And here you have also a report of Amazon. And this is also linked to, for example, the Pan-European program, at least a little bit, where you are, where Amazon needs a minimum stock to make this Amazon Pan-European program right. Just in 2 sentences, what is the Amazon Pan-EU program? You ship one big stock to Amazon. You allow Amazon to store your goods everywhere, for example, in Europe, and Amazon will distribute your one stock to all over Europe, and so that the end customer always gets the best shipping customer experience for that one. And here Amazon says you need to have at least 30 days of stock, that this system works properly. That's also the official meaning about it. But we experience that it's not obligatory to have it. If you don't have it, then maybe some guy in West Spain will not get his product the same day or next day. But I would say that's not the biggest problem. But just see how you can that all your products are in stock. I mean, there are also a couple of other obvious reasons to have products in stock which we're actually selling. And for the in stock inventory improvement, you have also a report which you can download, which you can play with in Excel. And Amazon recommends at least 30 days of stock, but better 60 days of 30 days of supply, but better 60 days of supply. That's what Amazon says, at least. Here also some not hack, but some tip. If you are not going to sell a product anymore ever, then delete it from your Seller Central. Because if you have a product which has a sales history and you are not deleting it from your Seller Central, Amazon waits for the product to be restocked, but you will never do it because you are not going to sell it again. And that's why you get your API gets harmed by this, by this little thing. So if you are not going to sell a product again, delete it from your Seller Central in all the marketplaces. In general, you can get it back someday when you want to sell it again. But it's better to delete it, definitely. And tell Amazon what your restock behavior actually is. For that, you have the option. It's also in some of the inventory in the API sub menu. You have the option to tell per SKU is the product restockable. In general, you can tell it to Amazon, no, it's not, and then it will not harm your sub KPI. You can say, Amazon, I'm restocking it in this frequencies, and Amazon will know it. And that's how you can avoid to delete products which you don't have in stock at the moment, but you will definitely sell them again in, for example, 2 months when the ship from China arrives or something like that. You can tell it to Amazon that it's not restockable at the moment, and this will not harm your inventory performance index anymore. And now, again, personal opinion, Amazon does so much good stuff for us, and in this case we can just help Amazon to plan their capacities better. So just give them the data. That's really my personal opinion. Just give them the data when you want to restock and how and so on and so forth, so that they can plan better their own fulfillment centers, and then they can open new ones and blah blah blah. Of course you will not change it yourself, but if many people are doing it, then Amazon gets a lot of data, and then they can react on future situations like we had the last years. Now also some, I told it already in the other presentation of Augustus, it's not intuitive at all, but it's the reality, unfortunately, and hopefully Amazon will fix it someday. The UK and the Pan-European Inventory Performance Index are connected on the high level. Means if you have 600 in Europe, you will have 600 in UK as well. So that is the same sub KPI, but the main KPI, sorry. But the sub KPIs, they are not connected anymore. Means you can be green all over Europe because you're selling in Europe and you take care of your inventory performance index and do all the stuff which I explained before. But in UK, you don't care at all because of Brexit, and you are not going to sell there, blah, 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 and you're red everywhere. And what happens then is that your overall inventory performance index will go down. And that's actually something what you have to experience, or what you have to test or to learn. So when your inventory performance index goes down, while all your sub KPIs in Europe are green or nice and fine, then it might be because UK destroys this performance with their sub KPIs. And that's what we experience as well. We were green, dark green everywhere, but UK red everywhere, because after the Brexit, we had no solution for the first couple of months. And our inventory performance index went down week by week, even though we made a great job in Europe. Okay, so just be aware of this issue. It's not intuitive. It's a stupid bug, but that's the reality we have to deal with. Okay, that's why what I told before. Here you can tell Amazon if your products are restockable, or how important the product is to you, and what I explained, that you give Amazon the data, and that's in the sub menu where where you can see the inventory performance index sub KPIs. And that's all about the inventory performance index itself. Maybe Lisa, do you have questions? Then we can just do a little question round here. Or are you familiar with what I said, and do you have your own experience in this?
Yeah, I will stop sharing your screen for a second so I can ask some of the questions. So yeah, I was listening to you carefully regarding the restock limits. And actually, I wanted to ask for those who are just about planning to start selling their first product. So as of now, are there any limitations for like very new sellers who are just about to launch their very first product in order to send stock in, let's say, on the main markets, let's say US or UK or Germany?
I cannot say about US, but in Europe, my last, we don't have a new account, so I'm not looking into new accounts, but I know there is some limitation for all accounts. Everybody can see this limitation, but this limitation is reasonable. So you can, that's not a blocker to start selling on Amazon at all. Do you have a limitation? You cannot ship as much as you want, but it's enough to launch a product.
Okay, very good. And you mentioned about Amazon updating the storage limits, but I think you didn't mention how often the inventory performance index is updated on an account.
The inventory performance index itself gets updated every week. Every week on Monday, German time, around 9 o'clock in the morning. That's how the inventory performance index itself. But the storage limit gets updated once per quarter.
Okay, very good. Good information. So I think we can now move forward with your presentation, and you can share again your screen.
Okay, so and now the other exciting part, we were talking about the inventory performance index, but not too much about the restock limit. What can I do about the restock limit? So that's just a reminder, the inbound capacity of Amazon and how much products you can ship, like units you can actually ship into Amazon. And here, unfortunately, you cannot do too much about the index, about this capacity itself. So that's unfortunately the reality, but you can improve your inventory performance overall so that this is not an issue for you anymore. Because what we experience, at least in Europe, I know in Canada it was like even worse. US it was a bit easier, but Amazon gives you always some days of supply over your account. Means when you're selling, for example, 1,000 products per week, and Amazon gives you 5 weeks of supply, then you are able to send in 5,000 products. Means if all your SKUs are optimized, then you will always have 5 weeks of supply, and we will never have this restock issues again anymore. And in the past, it was like we never had less. Like the worst case on this 2 or 3 hard months was we had 4 weeks or 5 weeks in the worst time days, weeks of supply. Means if everything is optimized, you have enough stock for all your SKUs. So that's like the magic here. You need to be aware of your days of supply and the sell-through rate per SKU, and if they are optimized, you will not have these issues. Try to keep, so the first thing is optimize the storage space, storage usage. Try to keep 4 to 8 weeks of supply in your account. Of course, Q4 is a bit different because this restocking periods are a bit longer because Amazon has more to do and more inbound in general. So here you can be a bit, let's say not conservative, it's the opposite of conservative. I think you got it. 4 to 8 weeks. That's, in my opinion, the perfect weeks of supply. Kill excess inventory. Do removal orders. Use this features what I explained before, and use deals and discounts to make space for relevant products. And that's what we had to do as well. We had to remove a lot of products. I mean, with a lot, like 5 digits of products, units from one day to the other. That costs a lot of money. You can avoid it when you do it in advance properly with deals and discounts and other stuff. So please don't get into the same problems as the last year. And yeah, the best thing is definitely to have deals and discounts and just sell the products for a cheaper price than to use some other option. And the second one, and this I have also a story here, because that's why I want to make this point clear. Get your FBM backup in place. Just do it. Get your FBM. You never know what happens tomorrow, and this is not entrepreneurial mindset to have only one card in your pocket. You always need to have a backup, and FBM is the best backup here to save the rankings what you paid money for, actually, for the launch of the product, for PPC and so on and so forth. When you have FBM, you will at least get a little bit of revenue, and you will not lose your rankings in total. Okay, and now why I'm making this point clear here. My story is, when the restock limit kicked in, Amazon said, yeah, it will be good in some weeks and blah, blah, blah. In the first weeks, our customers hesitated to get products out and so on. Then we decided, because we never did it before using FBM because of account issues and so on, we implemented an FBM solution for our customers so that they can at least sell something. We pitched that solution to, I don't know, most of our customers, and actually 15 or so signed up for it. They said, okay, we want to do FBM backup, we want to be safe and so on. Then Amazon they say it was a bug, but I think they just tested it and then they rolled it back. For 1 or 2 days, Amazon removed this restock limit in this time when everybody had this restock limit. And from this customers, only 2 wanted to still have an FBM backup. You have to imagine this. We had this backup solution. Okay, the problem is not real anymore. Okay, fuck this. Let's keep going. Let's do the usual business. And this is not professional, in my opinion. That 80% of the customers, or even more, they just don't care at all about the backup plan. And I will just ask you guys to have a backup plan, because only like that you can be a professional seller. Also, not only for this one, there are many other reasons, many other fields where you have to have a backup plan. And please don't do this mistake as our customers did, because then we rolled it out, and then most of them, they did not want it, and then they had to start the process again, and then they lost again 1 week of revenue, and it was just stupid and childish.
Regarding to your last story about setting up the backup, so you went through the process of setting it basically up. So, but for many sellers, they have been usually doing FBA. So when it's now time to set up the backup of FBM, then they actually don't know where to start or what are the main things they should think through. So do you have some tips from your own experience? Like, what are the main things you really have to think through and then like kind of get in order?
Most important thing is to get the right partner in your boat. So it means don't go to the next and to the cheapest fulfillment company. Go to one which has expertise in the Amazon field and does it on a regular basis in this, maybe even specialized in this Amazon field. And that's basically that's the magic. And they know how it works. They know how to set it up, and then they will connect their system, ERP system, to your Amazon account. And for example, Central, it's a German one. They connect it to your Amazon account, and as soon as you get as soon as they get an order, they will get it automatically, and then they will fulfill it. And here I also have a tip or some experience from customers of the past. Prime by seller sounds very fancy, but at least in Germany, I don't know how it's in other countries, but at least in Germany, it's a huge problem, because even if you did not do something wrong, even if your partner did something wrong, it can happen that Amazon gives you here bad stats, bad KPIs. For example, you get like 20 prime by seller. So prime by seller means that you get still the prime logo, but some third-party fulfillment provider does the actual work, and it's super expensive and so on, but you have the prime label. And here you have the requirement that the products which customers actually order till some part of the day, some time of the day, that they reach the fulfillment center, the big fulfillment center from DPD. In Germany, it's DPD, in time. Means you do everything right, your Amaluca account is connected, everything right. Your fulfillment partner does everything right, everything is packed till, let's say, 4 p.m. and the truck comes by and gets all the products in, and then brings the products not till midnight to the main center of DPD, and the products are not checked in on, it's like 12 o'clock, but 5 minutes later, then it's like they got like delayed. And then for each of these orders you have a delay, and we saw it so many times that customers get blocked for Prime by seller. So it will not harm your FBA. This will not harm your FBA. It's not that huge of a problem, but you will be blocked from Prime by seller if this happens a couple of times. And that's why I would not recommend to do Prime by seller, to set up a process and then get blocked for no reason, in my opinion. No actual reason. So get a good supplier, get a good fulfillment partner, bring the products over there, connect your ERP to your account, and from that on everything is just business as usual, only that the fulfiller does the work, but Amazon.
And overall, how do you feel like currently, if you consider, let's say, I think you're most know the situation in Europe and in Germany, then how are things going now after the Christmas periods, the holidays time? Like, have things like calmed down and things are like normalized more than it was, let's say, in the middle of last year?
Yes, definitely. It's all like it was, basically almost like it was before. You have restock limits, but they are so high that, yeah, let me just think. I guess it's 20 weeks of supply or something like that. It's a lot. So it's a lot. So things have normalized. Everything is good. The inbound time is also good. Everything is fine again for the moment. But who knows if the 4th and 5th wave or 20th wave will come, what will happen then? So
yeah, you better prepare for. Yeah, I wanted to say exactly the same, that now it's the good time to prepare everything in case something similar happens in the near future again. Okay, perfect. Exactly. Very informative and detailed presentation from your side, and I think you're now ready to explain a little bit more what Spacegoats does and how do you usually work with different companies to help them to sell on Amazon.
Thank you very much for this introduction. As I already said, I'm Anton from Spacegoats, one of the founders, and we developed a software with a service. That's how we call it, software with a service, where we sell, and that's the basic idea. We sell your products through our Amazon account European-wide without that you need any VAT number but the one of your home marketplace. Okay, that's the basic idea of Spacegoats. If you don't have your own Amazon account, you can sell through us because we have a big one, and you can basically lease our Amazon account to do your stuff. And about some details, so that's the basic principle. We sell your products all over Europe. Meanwhile, also in UK through our own Amazon account with the obvious value proposition of internationalization. So if you're a seller, for example, based in Germany, and you're selling successfully on the German marketplace, and you want to expand to the other marketplaces without the headache of VAT number registration and so on, then you can come to us. We are registered in all these countries, and we sell the product in our name, and we'll just cash you out for what you earned in the other countries. So legally you're our supplier, but it feels like a commission, basically a commission base. So that's the first one. The second one is of course automation for you. So not everything is automated in our backend, but for you it's automation. We take care of the Amazon account. You don't need to run the Amazon account. We unblock your products when they are blocked. We communicate with the Amazon support. We do the end customer support. So a lot of like operational work will just be on our side then, and you can kind of lean back. It's not like this because you always have decisions to make and stuff, but at least for the operational part, you can lean back and focus on the stuff what you actually are good in and what you actually enjoy, like marketing, product development, sourcing, and so on. And the last part is security. Our account is pretty big. We have the Amazon 360 program in place with escalation hotline. So if something goes wrong with the product detail page or with our account or whatever, what never happened so far, that we got any issues with our account itself, then you can still keep going with our Amazon account. So your account gets blocked, but for some stupid reasons like bureaucracy, second Amazon account, second telephone number, there's many reasons to get blocked by Amazon. Then you can continue selling through our platform or use it as a backup for your own Amazon account. So that's our basic services. What we're doing in basic service. What is always included is we have a broker service. Broker service means we sell your products through our account, what I already explained. We manage the Amazon account and fully manage the Amazon account. We fully manage the end customer support. Of course, when we don't know because it's product specific, I will ask you, and for the next time we will know the right answer. We do the invoicing and the billing. So invoicing to the end customer, billing to you, so that you don't need to care about this one. When you, for example, sell yourself on Amazon, you will write an invoice to each end customer what you sell a product for, and that's not the case for us because we write all these invoices, and from us you get just documents between us two. So 3 documents total, like service invoice, and yeah, the details are not important here, but you reduce the documents what you have to 3 documents, and your own bookkeeping gets cheaper and so on. And of course, you, as I said, we are a tech company with a service component, and we have a platform software coded where you can see all your stats, how many sales you did, this stock which is on our Amazon account, PPC campaigns. You can manage your PPC campaigns, you can manage your shipments. That's what you can do through our own software. And we have so we call it Space Market because we are spacey, where you can book additional services, for example, for PPC, for sourcing, for translations, for whatever. So every part where you need from the value chain, from beginning to the end, where you need some support, you can find either at Spacegoats itself or on our Space Market. Additional service you can book. We can, as I said, we can help with any steps of the value chain, from sourcing to the exit. We have partners here for all the sub-steps. We have a supply automation in place, means it's even less work for you. You will just send the bulk order from China to our pre-FBA partner, and from that on we take over. You don't need to make shipping plans and take care of the IPI stuff, what I explained before, because we do it automated. We will just ship the goods when they need to be shipped to Amazon. We can help you with WEE, so that's like the electro trash and battery removal, so you don't need the registration over here. We also do packaging. So packaging registration is also on our account. It's actually not additional, so it's also free, and compliance of any kind. So if you have like issues with your product or questions about your product, we can help you with this as well. So if you need certificates and so on, and yeah, whatever else is needed, you can basically find it on our Space Market. Yeah, some marketing slides I always explain it like this, transparent. That's also on our website. Without Spacegoats, it's headache and a lot of work. With Spacegoats, is less work, blah blah. Our software looks like this. Kind of like the app, the Amazon app on the phone. You have some stats, you have some graphs, you have all the orders. You can see basically what's going on our Amazon account related to your product. We have the sales infrastructure, means registered tax-wise all over Europe plus UK, and the service marketplace, what I already explained a couple of times. To be transparent, not everything is shiny. There are always upsides and downsides in each service, I guess. And one of the downsides I would say is that you don't have a direct Amazon access. That's upside and downside at the same time, because you don't have one, you don't need to deal with Amazon because we are doing it. The downside is, of course, you have less control and some delay with your decisions. That's just a fact. You can communicate with us and we will do what you want us to do, but it takes more time than just doing it directly on your own Amazon account, of course. We can't guarantee always that we have all the seller central features from the first day in our software, because Amazon releases something without asking us if they are allowed to release it, and then we have to code it as well. But that in the past it was not that much of a problem. You have a bit less customer relation control, means we are taking care of the end customer support. Of course, we forward you common questions and stuff, but in general, we are taking care of this, and we really take care in terms of service of Amazon. So it means no gray hat, no black hat through our own Amazon account. No, Amazon account is wholly to us, and we definitely take care here. And we take compliance very serious, because the bigger you become as a seller, then more eyes will look on your account. That's why we check every product which is sold, which we think needs to be checked through our account. And this is also an upside, a benefit and a disadvantage, but because when we allow you to sell the product, then it's basically compliant. So that's also cool. It can be also seen as cool. Beside internationalization and automation, that's actually the last slide. Representative accounts. So if you have, for example, D2C brand, so you want to sell directly to the end customer, but you're not allowed because you have a seller infrastructure which are selling your products in a bad way, and you want to sell directly to the end customer because you have a brand, then you can do it through us, because it's kind of a representative account, so nobody knows who's actually selling the product. Could be everybody, so that's kind of a bit less transparency for the market competitors. Amazon account backup, so that's also a service why customers come to us, so they set everything up, and in case that their own Amazon account gets blocked, we can take over and keep the revenue flowing in. And the last part, we can help you with compliance, but that's what I already told you guys. And then I'm open to more questions and some additional advertising. If you are signing up with the code Orange22, you get the setup free off, and Augustus will benefit from this as well. And I guess it's a fair thing, because he's providing us so good content that if you are signing up for us, please use the code.
I think we can wrap up for today. So thanks a lot for all the information you shared, and I hope to see you soon again.
I hope this video was helpful for you, and in case you want to get in contact with Anton and his team, find the link below in the description, as well as an offer which will waive you a setup fee if you sign up with Spacegoats. Spacegoats helps Amazon brands to expand in Europe with no hassle, and it takes care of everything from sourcing, logistics to fulfillment and distribution. And now I would like to recommend you to watch other video with Anton, where he explains how to sell on European Amazon FBA marketplaces and what opportunities do the new marketplaces offer.